how do I make a content platform economically viable? How much would it cost to produce my own content, license content? And then how do I decide how much to charge every viewer per month, or whether I want to run ads and how much to charge for those ads, or whether I want to run a hybrid model between membership and ads?
To find out this answer, you need to subscribe. Yeah, look, like there's no fixed thing. It's like, I think I've touched on a lot of like how we view it with revenue models and buckets. And ultimately, if you're generating revenue that's paying for the costs of the business, then it's working. Ultimately, if you're not, you're not. So how do you price it? Everything's different. There are industry standards, like influencers have cost for posts. You kind of work around that if you're paying for Instagram posts, or, we used to sell a lot of sponsored articles. Banner ads have CPM prices. CTV have CPM prices. Audio ads have general industry benchmarks. There's a lot of white papers. IAB, as an internet advertising bureau, produced a lot of white papers. We served on the board of that, and we're still a member. So there's a lot of pricing metrics out there. If you're setting up a restaurant, you look at your neighbor's menu to see how much, like, if you're opening a coffee shop, how much you charge for coffee. Like, some of it depends on the economics of the city. Going back to the point of, like, will Love and Islu work in Islamabad versus Cairo? Well, the price point can work for that city. So I think people will get that. I think you kind of, if you're starting an agency and you're doing social media content management, what do you charge for it? Some people, when something's new and when the marketer or the buyer isn't very savvy and they think that, the price point got way out. And then when the industry sort of commoditizes itself, it sort of makes things super cheap. And that's just market dynamics. That's just open market.
Just to give you some context into this question, it's been interesting to watch the evolution of streaming services, not content platforms. You can tell me whether it's the same for content platforms, but it feels like we're just back to square one. When these streaming platforms first burst onto the scene, they were attractive because they were radically different from television. You paid a fixed fee, you had access to a library of content, there was no ads, and there was no scheduled programming. I had access to all the content in one go. Now I pay a membership fee on, let's say, Netflix. They run ads in the middle of the content. Amazon Prime, they run ads. It disrupts the flow. The library is split. Well, firstly, the scheduled content, they drop episodes once a week, just like TV. And now the library is split across Netflix, ESPN, Hulu, Disney as well. So much so that there are like bundling packages now, just like cable and television. So it feels to me we have reinvented cable and television. The mode of transmission is different. Maybe there's more personalization. But we've just taken a long, expensive route to just come back to the same spot. Is that right? Was traditional television and cable the only economically viable product, and streaming services were doomed from the beginning?
We're definitely... streaming services aren't doomed. Most of them are profitable now. And not most of them, but like the model has become profitable. We're not back to the beginning. I understand the question and I understand the narrative, and a lot of it is plausible. However, consumer choice is a key thing that you need to spell out there, because some episodes do drop weekly, but the library and the programming is completely different. Like, that's sort of, if you're a programmer on a cable TV, you're buying movies, right? You go to MIPCOM or you go and you do a deal with a studio, but you're only releasing that movie at any given time, right? And that's where the DVDs came in, whatever. Streaming has opened up all that. The choice is incredible. And we're not going back because of the choice. In terms of pricing, yes. Like, I think I got my text yesterday, $17 a month for Netflix in the region. It started in 2016 in the region. But, Netflix started in the late 90s. It was DVD mail. Streaming only happened in 2007, only came to region 2016. The ads model still isn't in the region. So Netflix doesn't have ads, so you're not being interrupted. They don't really do episode drops. Like, one show in 100 maybe does. There's a lot of movies there. The library's good. They have an international studio. The dubbing's getting better. The devices where we can watch it is better. They have a download feature. You can take it on a plane. Like, this sort of convenience isn't where cable was. appointment TV once a week. This choice has evolved. So in terms of some of the convergence and some of the bundling thing, yeah, but I think that's people and businesses. That's just evolution in some level. But I don't even think that's really happened. Like I can't think of a bundle in the region. There are some talks of ESPN and Disney doing bundles in the US, but like that, they haven't really run with it. You have telco, which are called MNOs. Basically, they can offer you things together, right? So if you are a subscriber, like Etisalat do have content or whatever, but generally, in this region now, if we take the top, say there's like 16, 20 million subscribers, more downloads, but if we take the top 4 or 5, you have Shahad, Stars Play, Netflix, and then a few others, Prime, a few others sort of trying in there, like Watch It in Egypt and, Yango Player making a stab and things like that. So, but if you think of those, then none of them have bundled. So yeah, and then the evolution as well, going back to the point about the linear thing, the new way in cable on streaming is called FAST, free ad-supported streaming service. So Samsung TV Plus, Love and Dubai are going to launch a TV channel on Samsung TV Plus soon. Of the 2 million devices that are in the region, on older models, not older models, we'll be one of 20 channels that you'll be able to get on the first screen there, the first sort of square box, because we've moved to an app flicking model instead of a channel flicking model. But what's the scale of this apps? And actually the OSs, the operating systems, in Samsung cases, Tizen, or in LG have their own. Huawei power a lot of these. Huawei are in a lot of their cars. A lot of the car devices are powered by this OS. So basically, they have people vetting whether you can go into this app ecosystem or not. And if your app isn't good enough, you're not getting in. So not everyone is going to have an app in that environment. So not all streaming services are going to be there. The ones that are baked into the device, your control has a Netflix button on it or a Shahad button on it. But then the next level of that is like the viewability. So when you open this device and it doesn't have a Yango Play, at least there's an ad showing Yango Play download. But if you're Smashy, where you're not on the device and you're not paying for the install feature, you're kind of buried. So it's going to be hard for people to find your app to download. So what do? Then do you go, okay, I have Smashy, but I have 700 games on Smashy Sports. So why don't I take Smashy Sports as a fast channel and give it to Starzon, who now have fast channels, who have 2-3 million downloads, and who will give me kickback and revenue and subs, and give me a bundle just for my sports channel. Or I go to Shahad, who have, I think, 80 channels or something. So, and Love in Dubai might be on Shahad, as well as being on the Lovin app that's buried on an OS somewhere. So yes, it's converged, but are we back to cable now?